Kia ora, guys. Welcome back to Grief to Growth podcast. We're on episode 4 now. Woo!
Home stretch, baby.
Home stretch. What a journey it's been. But this episode I'm really looking forward to because it's more about the life after loss and navigating that, as well as, you know, some really uplifting things. And I'm hoping that people can take some really awesome tools away from this and also maybe validate a lot of other people's journeys, because I want to feel like I'm not the only one on the same waka. Like, you know, and I
Struggle street.
yeah, and I find comfort in hearing other people's journeys that are similar to mine. You know, and I think if you guys can take one thing away from this, it'll be quite cool. But also hearing like my siblings' side on their experience and how to support someone that's going through grief. Again, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But in saying that, again, I don't know everything. I'm not sitting here going like, you guys need to do this. Like, this is how it's going to get you through. No, not unfortunately. Again, there's no rule book, and but that's the journey. So I guess we'll start with, I guess leaving Shawnee was really hard, but I knew that I needed to go home and be in the comfort of my own space, and that was Wellington. That was hard, but I knew I couldn't go back to my home at that stage because there was just too many memories, and anyone that has gone through that knows it's really hard going back to a new normal when you don't want it to be a new reality for you. So I think it was a nice time, well, not a nice time, but to step away from.
It wasn't nice.
It was a nice time.
Is it walk in the park?
Yes, it's lovely.
Do it again sometime soon.
Yes, why not? No, really. Hey. None of that.
Don't laugh, you cry.
Yeah, but 100%.
Safe space for you, Paige. Safe space.
My safe space was really being around my whānau, the ones that know me best inside and out, that can support me, and mainly my children, because mummy couldn't function. Mummy couldn't even shower, really. When you think about it, it was literally doing the
We
bare
didn't
minimum.
shower her. Yeah, no, she did it herself.
Are you sure? I think I asked you guys once. No. No, I did shower. Okay, I did shower, but you don't want to. You don't want to do anything but just exist, really. So I went back home to Wellington. Even though my home was in Hamilton, I wanted to be in the comfort of my own space around my whānau and my tamariki, and knew that they were going to be supported, because at that point it was just purely surviving. And so for me, it was I didn't know how I would be through grief, but I knew I didn't want to be in a room. I didn't want to be enclosed in a room by myself. I needed to be around people. And the beautiful thing about being back in Wellington, our home there, is that it's such a communal area where the lounge and the kitchen, it's a very like flowing in and out, and I just needed busyness. I needed
someone in there.
Yeah, I needed movement. I needed sounds. I needed distractions, really. That was the best way to explain. I needed distractions. And so I, for 3 months, was on a mattress in the lounge. I had my little side table next to me, all my little goodies that I'd never touched, or my little care packages, which I really appreciated. My beautiful besties, Darlene and Livy and Rangi Mārie, and I had so much love around me. They always delivered me the most constant flow of
hours, and
every delivery, every gift, every text meant so much to me. Every visit. Just being there. And I think that's a really good point about, you know, when someone's going through, you know, very early stages of grief, sometimes as friends, it can be quite difficult to watch your friend go through that. But what I found really helpful, and my friend Livy, you know, came over. She would always come over, and Darlene too, but also Darlene was in Auckland living there, and Rangi Mārie also. But, you know, she would often just turn up and say, girl, we don't need to speak. We don't need to do anything. I just want to sit, and I just want to be in your presence, and I'm here if you need me. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing, because I have a habit of really, when I'm in someone's company, accommodating them and making them feel comfortable and welcome, like that manaakitanga, right? Yeah. But she instantly brought down those walls for me, that I could just be myself, and there was no expectation. I found that really helpful in those early stages of grief, having friends around you that are like, babe, I got you, whatever you need, but we don't need to talk. You know, you've got a lot going on, but I'm here if you need me. And we can sit in silence, or we can chat about random stuff, but I'm just here. And I think that was enough, because often as friends and family, we don't know what to say. Nothing prepares you for this. Nothing makes that person feel better. But honestly, every conversation and just being there matters. And it does leave such an imprint on that person who is grieving. And they've got a lot going on in their lives too, you know? So I never held anything against anyone who, you know, didn't show up for me in those moments, because I know that that's life. Like, you know, we've got to get on with life. We've got to keep going. And
But the fact that those friends gave you time,
Yeah.
their lives.
Yes.
Again, someone like Livy just sit with
Sit
you,
there.
sit in that space. And she did an amazing care package too, by the way.
Girl.
Like literally had
Yeah.
tissues,
Yes.
chamomile tea,
Yes.
Panadol, like just
Yeah.
things.
Sleep spray, eye mask,
Diffuser,
eye mask, little like ones, you know, the cool ones.
yeah, for your eyes, puffy eyes.
Puffy eyes, magnesium, you know, and
Those
that really stuck with me, because I now give them care packages to other friends and whānau that are going through grief or a hard time in their life. I love to collect things, and it does make a difference. So if you're ever stuck with thinking of a gift to give, a care package is really lovely, like a loofah. And
what I would add to that too is what I found really helpful during that time is, you know, I mean, we got an abundant amount of bouquets of flowers, and it was just beautiful. But Livy's mum actually dropped off meals.
yes,
So like
Yep.
big
yes,
meals
home
for us
cooked
to
meals.
have for dinner.
That's
And it
right.
honestly was so helpful
Yep.
because when you have so many people in the home and you are, you know, quite limited on time, just being able to just heat a meal up and feed everyone. I mean, you weren't really eating, so, you know, but it was,
Yeah. I got big that year.
it was actually just so, it saved us so much, like having to think about what to cook for dinner for
That's
everyone. And
Yeah.
it just took one thing away and it made our lives so much easier.
That's
so
right.
I was so grateful for that. And they were so delicious.
They
as well.
were.
Um,
Even if you're not in a position to, or you know, in distance to be able to deliver kai, angel delivery was also a really awesome one.
That's
you know, we
true.
had friends that would deliver angel delivery.
Auntie Wit, yeah. she
Auntie
bought-
Wit,
Yeah.
I know a lot of the rugby community did too, and the Chiefs, when we moved back to Hamilton, they did weekly, and that was amazing.
That
for
was
me.
such a huge help.
It was huge. So things like that are really awesome. And I got sent books as well. And I think one of the books, even though I wasn't in, I think it was about 4 months until I could read, like until my mind could really quiet a little bit. But a book was really, when you're in a position to read, a book that I was sent was, I can't remember who it was someone from the rugby community, but Resilient Grieving. And I know I've gotten asked this quite a few times after me sharing it throughout the years, and it's Resilient Grieving. And this is by Dr. Lucy Hornwich. She's a psychologist who is a Kiwi woman, and she lost her child in a car accident. How to find your way through devastating loss. And I do really recommend people who don't know what to get someone, or if you want to show them awhi or aroha in some way, you know, Resilient Grieving book. And I know there's many other books out there that are amazing, but that one in particular is really awesome. I didn't eat for months. I physically couldn't eat. So I lost about like 10, 12 kgs. Like I was skinny, but not as good skinny, I tell you that much. I got coffees pretty much from my sister's dad, mum. They would drop off coffees to my bedside table because I didn't
We would try and leave you food
Yeah.
plates, but they would not be touched. But we do it all the time.
It's not even the fact that I didn't want to. I physically couldn't eat. The grief was so overwhelming. That was something quite shocking to me, actually, through grief. Another thing was my comfort shows. That was a biggie. And I think this is quite an important one too, because when your mind is, it just won't shut off. You cannot escape the overwhelming thoughts and pain that you're feeling with the grief. And your mind just ticks over the anger, the frustration, the sadness, the memories, everything, the longing, the love. And so for me, I couldn't shut it off. And my way of being able to cope with some of that and like act as a distraction, because I think distractions to some point are really helpful in these situations. So I would watch MasterChef on repeat, like Australia, New Zealand for months. Like it would have to be playing over and over. And it was a way because Sean wasn't a chef and love him, but
It's not something you two would watch.
there's no triggers. I think. Yeah. And there were so many triggers. Music. I couldn't listen to any reggae or Māori, waiata, kapaka
Sorry.
for months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, years. I couldn't listen to his music. It was so triggering. So MasterChef was something that was quite like uplifting, fun, and I was like, I'm not eating, so
Might as well watch other people eat.
yeah, might as well watch what other people eat. And it was so comforting for me, and it would be on till like 4 a.m. Like, and another thing I had, you guys obviously rostered on to.
We had a roster, yeah. I think I might have been responsible for that probably
It's something
because
you do, yes.
we all had
Take
to
that.
muck in, you know, we all had to share the load, the
The roster
responsibilities.
was like
One of,
Judy
yeah,
with Paige.
so who's sleeping with Paige each
Yeah.
night? We'd all take turns.
Yeah. Who's making the kids' lunches?
Lunches.
So we had to make the kids' lunches because Arihia was going to school and make
Washing.
Yeah.
yeah. Washing. What do you know about washing? You didn't know do your washing back then.
Sorry.
You obviously didn't do your duty.
You're not on the roster.
Not on the roster.
He was not a reliable
Not
client of
on the
mine.
roster. I think I was going through my own grief.
I think that
He supported in other ways.
You did.
with
With the kids,
I think it was
you know,
the
like
kids,
you
yeah.
were helpful with the kids. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was kind of the only, not the only way, but like we knew that we needed to like get into action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we needed to also have time, like, you know, like breaks, all of us, because it was, you know, a very long time, you know, just because, you know, we had laid him to rest. It didn't stop for us
Yes.
after that. You know,
right.
some people were able to, not all, but some people were able to just go back to their lives and carry on, you know, but it changed our whole dynamic completely. So, yeah, we were just figuring it out in those first few months.
Yeah, and that's the important thing too, is that, you know, when you lose someone you love and the tangi happens, you know, the burial and the funeral, and then everyone goes back to their lives, but, you know, your world essentially has stopped and everyone goes on, and that's the reality, you know. And you're right, you know, there's whānau that are around that will support people that are grieving and sacrifice a lot of their time and energy. And I'm always so grateful for you guys for that time, because I'm not able to be in the position that I am now if I hadn't have done the real healing and going right through it in the beginning. And that's why I say in my journey, I say, you know, I ran it straight. I wanted to feel it all. I wanted to go through it all. You know, and that's why another thing I also did was I, you know, rung my doctor because I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And so, amazing family doctor in Wellington, miss him, Dr. Alistair Young. And I couldn't even go to the doctors. That, you know, he FaceTimed me and I said, look, I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm just at this point fading away. And he said to me, and I always remember it, you know, darling, you know, you won't ever, you know, die, because your mummy's instincts will kick in and you won't starve to death. You won't, you know, die from sleep deprivation. Your mummy instincts will kick in. But what we can do for you, and I think what helped was I was prescribed sleeping tablets, which again, I'm not like big on taking medication. I'm never really, but I knew, and that's rich coming from a nurse, but I know there's always a place for it, 100%. But for me, I was just like, oh, you hear about people getting addicted, but I knew that I wouldn't. Like, I knew that there would be a time and space that I would come away from it. So I do recommend people who cannot sleep. Sleep helped me heal so much, and those sleeping tablets were the best decision that I decided to take, because it helped me escape my overwhelming thoughts, and I could rest. My mind could rest because I wasn't able to sleep. So that's also another thing that I, felt was really beneficial for me. As well as I was seeing my psychologist in Wellington 3 times a week or 4. I can't remember. Like, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I was there.
Yeah,
every
we
day.
were taking yeah.
And I remember the drive there. I used to look out the window and think, just people walking along Lambton Quay about their day, all business people. And I remember looking out going, how can people carry on with their lives when my world is ended? And that's not to sound depressing or blank or selfish. It's just, honestly, I was just like, how can the world keep moving when I'm literally in so much turmoil that, like, my world's ended? But people just look so, normal. And so they should be. So they should go to work and live their life. But I'm here going, what you doing? You should be grieving and going to the psychologist like me. So, I went to a psychologist. He was amazing, Dr. Bennett. He was incredible. And, we talked about we had the conversation around antidepressants because, he was very much like, yeah. And the way he explained it was really beautiful, actually. It was just more about, you're on quicksand. And it doesn't take the pain away, but it just gives you some grounding. It gives you some footing for you to be able to wake up, have a shower, just keep moving. And I think that's really important. And again, I'm not against, medication at all, but I think there was a point where I did get it prescribed. I had it right there, and something was just telling me no, so I decided to not take them and go right through it, run it straight, feel all the emotions. And I believe that was the best decision for me. But then again, I can't compare because I didn't take antidepressants, so I can't have nothing to compare to. All I can say from my experience, did I need to take antidepressants? 100%. Did I take them? No. But again, and that's why I can't compare whether or not it was the right decision or not. But for me, I feel, I just put one foot in front of the other day by day. And it's little things like self-care, so going to the psychologist, sleeping tablets, comfort shows, distractions really help. Healthy distractions help, whānau support. But also one thing that I did was get my hair done, blow waved with a friend. She's a hairdresser, and she offered her time once a week to me to come in a safe space to get my hair blow dried. And oh my gosh, yeah, it was honestly the wash and dry. So I didn't need to I don't wash I only wash it once a week, and so it was perfect. It was just that one moment when you walked out and you actually felt uplifted. Your wairoa felt uplifted despite you were going through. Just that one bit of self-care was amazing. It made you feel uplifted. And so thank you, Geordie. Here by Geordie in Wellington, Miramar. She's amazing. She's also a family friend, like we've known for years. So, but yeah, and I went, so Ray-Bans, I wore my Ray-Bans everywhere where I went. I had a lot of social anxiety, so I didn't really leave the house much at all. And when I did, you'd always see me in my Ray-Bans, my black aviator Ray-Bans. It was like my armor. It was my sense of armor when I would go out, and and I remember going to Lululemon and buying 3 pairs of the same tights, and that was my uniform. But I loved it because it was comfortable. I didn't have to think. And I think that's another thing. Like, you just want comfy things that you don't want to have to think about. Just throw them on. You never want anything restricting that's hurting you. That's like, ugh. So I think that really helped too.
Shout out Lululemon.
Shout out Lululemon.
Nice one.
Thank you. Not sponsored.
But yeah. So I think those months were really crucial to my healing, and I really appreciate, everyone that played a part in that in order for me to, step on my 2 feet again. And it wasn't until about 4 months where I could stand on my own and made the decision to move back home to Hamilton. My whānau didn't want me to go back home, but I knew there was nothing for me back in Wellington. I felt like I'd be taking a step back, and Shawnee and I built a beautiful life in Hamilton, and I felt that there was an opportunity for me to go back, and I had been offered a job before he'd passed as a cosmetic injector with Dr. Kirshney at Jeunesse, and I wanted to carry out my career still because I knew that's what I'm going to need moving forward financially for us to live. But also, by going back into nursing was the best thing that I could have done in the most safe, beautiful space. I had women that I was working with a lot more mature in their 50s that had been through their own traumas in their life, and I loved that it was a private, safe space for me to be able to gradually do something, and it was a sense of achievement for me working, and it gave me purpose. It made me feel good, and I can't believe I actually went back like that early. And because I remember when he passed, I'm like, there's no way I will ever work again. I can't. I will never be able to function. But actually, I was really proud of myself that I did and was able to do that. But we made the decision to move back. And I remember my dad saying, even at the tangi, he said, wherever Paige and the kids go, I'm going. And I think the thing with my dad is he's probably one of my most favourite people in the entire world. JD, he's mine. Same.
Oh my god.
I love my parents. I love my parents, but I feel like, Dad he is the most amazing human being. And you know what he did? He quit his job. And he goes, no, if Paige's going and the kids, I'm going. I'm going to be by my girl and I'm going to support her through these next months, years, whatever that looks like. I got her. And I just have no words still. I wouldn't be where I am today if my dad hadn't made that move for me and the children. And, he didn't have a job to go to and he didn't care. He was like, you know what? And he works so hard. He's such a hard-working man that he's never, ever has days off. So for him to come away from his own mahi and actually have no work to go to, and the fact that he was just so positive about it, he was just like, nah, I don't have anything to go to, it's all good, I just want to be there for Paige and the kids. And he is just the most incredible man, the most selfless. He's the definition of a dad who will go to the ends of the earth for his kids and his mokos, and always wants to see the best in everybody. And that was the kind of energy that I needed around me. He gave me that structure and he gave me that strength in those months. And he never once made me feel bad. I'm here, sorry. You're away from mum and, the other kids and your favourite son.
Me. He was away from me.
Often people would tell me or ask me, isn't it hard being back in the home where all your memories are? And if anything, I loved it. I embraced that. I wanted to feel the love in the home and the memories. And I remember the keypad that does a beep, beep, beep at the front door, and Kawariki would come running to the front door because he knew Daddy was home. And, the first time when he did that, Kawariki ran, someone was at the front and beep, beep, beep. He ran to the front door and, oh my God, I bawled, and I think I had to go through it, all of it. Could I have gone I probably could have gone another way and not really and closed that door on our whare and moved out instantly. But no, I wanted to go back and be relished in all our memories and the love in our home. And this, his clothes were untouched, and I left it like that. And I would go in and just like smell him, and I loved that smell. But I wanted to go right through it, and it was hard but necessary. And my kids were able to find a bit of stability in their life, considering we're in Wellington and there was no real structure or routine. I knew I needed to get my kids into a routine and know that I could build now a life for us, no matter what that looked like. Everything was going to be for them. But that's why also fitness was a really big part of moving forward.
Oh, yeah, it was. Here it comes. Get out of the way. This is huge, actually.
Well, yeah, and anyone who's in the fitness space understands how beneficial it is, not only, you day to day, but when you're going through something like this, releasing positive endorphins to make you feel good, honestly, was incredible. The gym was my 1 hour that I could shut off from the world and legit just go hard, thrash my body, and create like the sense of an outlet. And it was incredible. Like, I 100% hands down, when you're in the right space, in the headspace, physical exercise doesn't have to be rigorous like me. Like, I was just thrashing my body.
Like me.
Yeah. I loved it though. I loved the pain and the hurt of like a real hard session.
Intense work.
Coming away going, I love that.
Mm.
But like a gentle walk to make you feel a lot lighter, and nature is really good. But
It was your most important outlet.
yes,
Yeah.
it was. Definitely.
I think, watching you, I think we sat down for a bit as a family, another family meeting. And, I think I just moved up and I was a bit, all over the place. I didn't know really what I wanted and where my thing was going. And Paige kind of said, what do you want? And I said, I want to feel strong. I want to get fit. I want to be, I'm just moping around the house all day and, don't have a job. You're just doing nothing. And I think you really said something there, Paige, where it's kind of like, well, then do it. Let's do it.
Mm.
And that really hit hard because I didn't know what to do. Paige was just, kind of, spoke up when no one really, did and said, well, that's us to the gym. And seeing you in there, Paige, in that setting, months on after we started, it was just like a fire in you. And when she got in that, in those wads or in that circle, man, you better watch out. She didn't talk to anyone else. I knew I was happy because she could talk to me, but man, she pushed me as well. And I think that was an awesome experience. And I think, Paige, it really helped your mental, as you said, because if you didn't have that, you just wake up sluggish.
Yeah.
You wake up with, you have a purpose to wake up.
I saw such incredible growth from you that year that you lived with us, and it was so cool to be able to go through that with someone too. You're on your own journey, but I loved the fact that I can help uplift people in their most vulnerable states. It just starts with releasing those positive endorphins in the gym.
And look at you now.
Look at you now.
Such an awesome,
Look at you now.
integral part of your life now.
Yes.
Your health.
Yeah, man, it's
So cool.
as you say, it's an outlet, and it's something that I don't think I could go in every day without doing.
And that was not you before at all. You never used to gym. Not at
No.
all.
In your grief journey, you're making small steps to start your survival and one foot in front of the other. But what I can say is it's the smaller steps that make the longest strides. And that's testament to, your journey too about, getting back into the gym and finding the gym for the first time, really. You just made those little small decisions every day, and that built long-lasting habits for yourself. And I want to encourage other people to do that too, that it's actually not the biggest highs that give you, the most success. What goes up must come down. I'm a firm believer in that. So, and that's also another thing when in your grief journey, you can go one or two ways in your path and you have full control of that. You can go this way and numb it and completely avoid it, all your feelings. And that's Kei Te Pai too, because I've been there and I can completely empathize why people go that path and choose to. It's okay to go that path, but as long as you come back on the right one that is going to be healthy for you and make the right choices long term for you and your whānau, I think that's really powerful. Again, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We make mistakes, so we can divert off that, but it's about having those core morals and values and knowing where, you know, those healthy habits come from and what makes you feel good, to come back to align to who you are and who you want to be. So it's okay to, you know, I think we're all on go on diets. So I'm going to do this, you know, calorie deficit. I'm going to cut. I'm going to get healthy. And then, you know, we kind of go off track. It's the same, you know, like with grief, where you don't always have to do this perfect. No one's perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to say things that are going to be hurtful to someone because we're having a really bad day, but really we're just missing our loved one and we just want them, no one else. And you're annoying me, so you're my target, you know, like, and you're someone that I love deeply, and I know you're going to love me regardless if I say this. And there's been a lot of times where I lash out.
So good.
Personal punching.
No punch.
So good.
I'm sorry.
No.
Like a champ as well.
She takes it like a champ.
Yeah, she takes it like a champ.
Yeah. But you find your people that you know they're going to love you and support you no matter what. And yes, I'm sorry. You are going to, they are in the firing line, but I love you and I appreciate all of that.
I know that's why you do it. It's all right.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess for me, it was just like routine based, just honestly one foot in front of the other in the beginning. And that was taking my kids to swimming. That was giving me a little bit of that boost, and taking them to sports, school. Those were the little achievements a day. Putting on the dishwasher. It was like, I did the dishes today. Good work, Paigey. Journaling. I found journaling so therapeutic in my journey, and that was a way for my mind to just unload. So for the next day, I could just wake up, probably still think really bad, but like still, it was a way to just keep dumping. Baby Irie. Hi. You and Mama. So we got baby Irie joining us for this. Love it. Yes. But I think seeing my kids progress in their sport really, really helped heal me as a mama, and knowing that I had a routine, and just getting up, getting the kids changed for school, dropping them off, going to mahi, coming back, cooking dinner, like those were the small achievements, honestly, make the most long-lasting impact. It's not only physically in the gym and mentally and emotionally, you know, speaking to psychologists, but also spiritually, like finding comfort in the signs from Shawnee was huge for me. And knowing that, you know, I'm not alone, or that I could feel him there helping guide me and the children. It gave me a sense of comfort, especially in the darkest times of my life. I loved getting signs from him. So like piwakawakas, fantails and tuis, and especially in the early stages outside my window, and monarch butterflies were huge. Angel numbers were huge. And I also bought my feathers that I've collected throughout the years. This is what I mean. The white, there was also the other one, the white feathers. My hubby, I find at very significant times, are a really big sign for me that he's there, or that validation, or that confirmation about things, or just that sense of like a warm hug from him. But yeah, I have collected them throughout the years, and whenever I find them, I put them at the back of my iPhone case, which I find is pretty cool. They're almost like just that little nudge and that little hug from him to say, keep going, you're on the right path, you're on the right journey. I believe there's more to life than just the physical. And that's just my personal belief. And I think it's really beautiful to know that someone isn't just like gone and bye, you know, see ya. Just more, I love feeling and seeing the signs too. And it was only recently I watched a podcast on the Diary of CEO, and I think it's Dr. Tara Swart, who's a psychologist who lost her husband actually a few days after my hubby, and she went through a lot of the same, you know, grief and turmoil. And now we're really finding out it's not all woo-woo. You know, there is scientific backing behind a lot of this connection to know that there is more than just the physical. And again, I'm not going to sit here and try and explain it all or try and convince anybody. I just know from my own experiences that's what brings me comfort. So I'm going to, you know, I love that. And I think what I'm trying to say is that find those things that are going to bring you those pockets of peace in your journey, because they matter. You know, no matter what your belief is, I feel anything that helps uplift you and helps motivate you. And I purely don't think I'll be where I am today if I didn't find comfort in those signs. I don't I don't look for them. They come to me in the right times, but I do speak to him. You know, I speak to him in the car. I'm like, and I feel like, oh my God, babe, I'm like talking to myself. Yeah, like if I'm talking to myself, this is a little bit like, you know, but you know, I think I encourage people to find what works for them spiritually, because it's not only mental, emotional, whānau, like family support. It's just spiritual too. You know, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be, you know, spiritual and in terms of that connection. It could be religion, it could be, you know, connection to your own you know, marae and culture, and whatever gives you that sense of peace and comfort. I really encourage that, because it helps heal you. Yeah,
lean into whatever you need, with that's faith or, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I've seen it as well. There's just signs there that, you know, every time that you feel like you're vulnerable, or like in a time of, you know, around his birthday or around your, he always seems to find some way to show, you know, his presence. And I think that's amazing. And you can take that like how you want. You can take it as that, oh, wow, what a coincidence, or that's him. And I think, you know, you're doing the right thing with saying, no, that's him.
Yeah.
Because it makes you happy. It doesn't make you sad.
Yes.
You know, it's saying, you know, oh, he's still around. And I think, yeah, if you can use that and gain from it, from what you need, man, 100%, go hard.
That's right. It's whatever you take from that moment. If people think that's coincidence, yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. Just saying. I guess the main message is find what really brings you the most comfort and peace to help you move forward. And it's okay to have your really bad days. And it's okay to actually just rot in bed and go, today's not for me. I ain't doing it. And that's okay too. Because that's actually probably your body's way of telling you, today's not the day. You need to rest and actually go through the emotions. And I think the hardest thing is knowing that there is no quick fix in grief. Grief is a journey. Grief is a forever thing. You know, I know to the day that I die that I will be grieving for my husband, and doesn't mean that I'm not going to find happiness again and find the joys. And doesn't mean I'm not going to build new beautiful memories around that too. Just means that that's a piece of me that will always be with him. And yeah, I think that's quite a beautiful thing to sit here now and feel, because in the beginning stages I would never have thought that, you know. And I think no matter how far along on your journey, and for me it's coming up 4 years next month, you know, and I feel I've done well on my own navigating grief, but it wasn't until, you know, a couple months ago where there's been situations where my body's been in constant fight or flight, and I genuinely believe that I've been on fight or flight since Shawnee has passed. Like, my babies are everything, and I am a vicious protector of them, and so I've got to be around, even just like people driving them. Like I can be a bit on edge about things because they are legit like everything to me. So it wasn't really until a couple months ago where there was a situation with baby Ari, and I just freaked, and I was, you know, it was really nothing, you know, it wasn't anything. But she was absolutely fine. But I was like, I was on the Harbour Bridge ringing the ambulance, like, we need 2 ambulances, 3 ambulances now, how far away, da da da. And baby's like, fine. But I'm like freaking out because I didn't realize at the time. But when you stay on fight or flight for so long and you have harnessed so much, you know, trauma that I probably haven't dealt with fully, and it's not until I've been seeing my psychologist and we've been going through and doing counselling as well that I've really understood it's PTSD and it's anxiety attacks manifesting from inner trauma that I haven't actually properly dealt with. And I'm so glad I went through that because it was really traumatic, and Jade was like, get out of my face. And usually I'm the calm, cool, collected one. I've worked in acute theatres. I've Cat 1 sees a baby's out stat. Like, I am usually so swift and calm in those situations, but I had no control over in that moment. And I was like, I don't care what the mother says. You're taking her to Starship because I'm freaking out. I don't care what she says. And I think, again, it was...
You were literally speaking for me today.
Yeah. I was like, I was like, what's her pulse? What's her O2 sats? Like, yeah. Yeah, you're the mother. And there was like 3 ambulances there on the side. And I was like Tokyo Drift, like off that motorway. Man, I was on, I'm going to say, but I would do anything for our babies in that moment. But again, I don't regret that moment because it made me acknowledge that there was some issues that I needed to get sorted. And that's why I say grief is a forever journey. And when you suppress and harness a lot of your trauma and don't acknowledge it, I thought I was doing pretty well, but I've actually been stuck in fight or flight for a few years now. And I think that heightened to a new level after Pakai Ture passed. And, I felt like my children just, I need to protect them, but I have no control over the outside world. And that's scary as a mother. So I think getting counselling and getting help has been really helpful for me, especially sitting here today and being in a space to do that. I think it's been really good getting the help, and it's okay to ask for help too, no matter how far along you're in your grief journey, because I dealt with a lot of it on my own with the support of my whānau.
And I think too, like, you have to be ready as well to have that help. You don't need to force yourself into getting help if it's needed. I remember when you did tell us, like, you're going, I'm going to go see someone, like, and we were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, because we tried to have the conversation with you throughout the years, but it was never, you were just like, no, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm all good, I don't need to worry about it. But when you came to us and you acknowledged the fact that, no, I'm going to go see someone, we knew that, okay, great, like, you're in a good space.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I feel like
you were ready on your own terms.
Yes. And I think your body will tell you, and I think my body told me, like, I was panicking, I was shaking, and that was the body's way of trying to show me, you need help with love.
How has grief shaped you into the woman that you are today?
That's a good question.
Banger questions, eh? Left, right, and centre of a page.
That's a great
Boom, boom,
question.
boom, boom, boom.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Taya.
Or me.
Grief has taught me to learn to live with a new reality. It's taught me that I am a strong woman. It's made me incredibly resilient. Just love life and appreciate life and not sweat the small stuff either. It's made me have a lot more empathy for a lot of people and understanding. When you take a step back and actually realize, okay, there's people out there that are a lot worse off than me. And I have empathy for that, and I have understanding around that I know, okay, I can get up and do this because there's a lot more other people that are going through a lot more tough times. I am really proud of myself with how I've navigated this and chosen to go forward. And it hasn't been perfect. I'm human. I've made mistakes. I will continue to make them. But, we grow through what we go through, and just I would love to encourage people just to have more compassion for yourself and don't be so hard on yourself. That's a lot of what grief has taught me. Is it a full moon tonight, by the way?
It's an
Yeah, it's a full moon.
Oh my God, it's right there.
Yeah.
Right. Is it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Behind the tree. Can you see it?
Oh my God, that's crazy that we're filming on a full moon. That's woo woo. It's been a long day, and I appreciate you guys so much for being here and supporting me through this korero. And for those that have been here, thank you so much for holding space again for me to speak about it. And I really hope that people have found tools to really help you or validate a lot of what your own experiences are and going through. And I would love to leave this korero with this caption that I wrote on the 22nd of June 2025, so about just over 5 years ago. 2 years ago, I wrote this about Shawnee and 2023.
Yeah, you said 5.
I know. I know. I meant 2. God damn,
girl.
I'm sorry. The 5 years. Sorry, it was our wedding anniversary yesterday, and so I've got 5 years in my head, and it is Father's Day tomorrow. So we're smack bang right in the middle of anniversaries, and they can always be really tough. And I think that's also the important thing, that every year it doesn't get easier, and but you just flow with the river and you do whatever and feel whatever the emotions are at the time. But yeah, anniversaries are really big, and I always say to people, flow with the river if you're feeling good. And that's usually at the time of his anniversaries, of his passing date and birthday. We usually go on trips or holiday or somewhere fun and uplifting. It's not to be sitting there going, oh, this is really sad. Like, it's going to have an element of sadness and all the emotions that grief bring. It's a reminder of the absence that they have here. I think that's another way to sort of approach the anniversaries and not feel so daunted about them, but it's okay to flow with the river and go through the emotions or whatever you're feeling on the day. So this is the photo back. And it's just a carousel of all our kind of memories together as a whānau. And yeah, I want to share what I wrote. 20 months. From the warmest hugs to the heartiest haka, the cheekiest laugh and the most infectious smile. His dry jokes and little pranks made my belly ache from laughing and heart secretly smile every day. Shawnee demonstrated what it was to be a beautiful human. Those who had the privilege to be in his presence always felt lighter and happier after leaving his. I do believe he was an old soul, drawn to Papatūānuku and Tangaroa, wise beyond his years and incredibly street smart. Book smart was debatable. Above all, he was an amazing husband and father, and his love for his whānau and friends was unmatched. He always looked forward to visiting them and connecting through celebrations, kai, a game of pool, coffee and cards, or an too, of course. Shawnee was passionate about helping our youth. He enjoyed doing school visits and connecting with our rangatahi. It came so naturally to him. I always felt, life after rugby, that this would be his calling, helping our tamariki from tough upbringings and being a role model for them, as he had always been open about his. Shawnee's love was beyond this world. We were incredibly lucky to have found each other in this lifetime. Although it was cut short, I'm grateful to have known what true love feels like, and also create a beautiful whānau like ours. My heart will never fully be at peace or accept his passing to the full 100 until the day I see him again. Although he's the first thing I think of when I wake and the last when I go to bed, my heart will continue to cry for him, but I pray one day my heart smiles without the ache from the loss of you, and rather the love of all that you've left behind. Until then, this grief game continues. It's softer some days, but relentless on others, a pain I wish on nobody. But we will continue to do our best. I miss you more than you could ever imagine. We got a long way to go, but each day is a day closer to you. Yeah.
Nice.
And I thought that was quite a nice kōrero to end with. And I just want to thank everybody for being here and being a part of this conversation. And I know that it had its heavy moments and funny and lighter moments, but it feels like a long time coming. And look, it's dark outside now, guys. We've got the full moon. Yes, we got the full moon energy out. I don't know too much about the moons, the marama, but I know that brings a lot of change and positive recharging energy. So yeah, I thank you all for being here and continuing to be a part of our journey. And in some ways, I feel that this is a way for me to acknowledge all the support that we've had throughout the years, and we're going to continue to smash life together. And I'm excited for the future and seeing where we're going to go, where we're going to head, because you know what? Life's too short and the world is our oyster. So we've just got to go get it, team. And that goes for everyone watching too. Go get it. Your life's too short. You go book that holiday. I tell you what, money comes and goes, experiences and memories. But you don't want to sit down and talk to me about that. You go, you book that holiday. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone. If I say that one more time. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, on that note, do you guys have anything to say before we tie things off?
Okay, I just want to say thanks. Thank you, Paige, for entrusting us with, this hard korero today. It was eye-opening. I've learned a few things as well, new, about your grief journey, but also things that I've seen and reliving that, which is nice. But we can tuck away for a while after this. This is we can push that back. But even just being here with Taya and JD, it was it's a real comforting space, and I see why you were so drawn to here. And for this podcast to reach people that obviously love you and love what you're doing. Le Bouche.
Yeah, thank you, Nico. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was what a journey you've been on, that we've helped, that we've been there as well. And it's been really nice. Well, it has been very uplifting going through your whole journey again. We've never actually talked about it properly till this day, so it was actually quite nice again, like Nico was saying, just to hear some things that actually were new to us, that from your experience, that we didn't necessarily see, or but beautiful. And just so incredibly proud of you and everything you've been through. You are the definition of a mana wahine, and I'm so proud to call you my sister. Don't cry.
Girl,
don't cry.
Stop now, guys.
Just seeing you go from the absolute lowest point in your life to seeing you today, you have done amazing, and I'm been so privileged to be able to go through this journey with you. And I love you, and I'll always be here for you and your babies.
No,
we can just that because that's why we're here. That's why we say it.
I love you too. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, JD. Really appreciate that, and your beautiful whānau and your beautiful fiance too, Grayson. He's been a huge part of
G-Man.
Our journey as we've navigated, especially with my babies. He has been, again, my babies have physically lost their papas, but they have so many amazing role models around them, and Grayson is one of them, and Shawnee and him shared a very special bond, and I feel like he made a promise to him, I think, when he passed, that he's going to be there for our babies and his son, especially, in terms of that male role model and that figure there. And so I really appreciate him and all the mahi that he does, especially when I'm running around being a mama and doing 10,000 things. Kawariki, let's go out of here. Let's go. We're going to play some touch outside. Those sorts of things is what I want for my kids. So much love for him. And Millie, she's been there from the very beginning. She's our beautiful, elegant, gentle. Her energy is just it's so lovely to be around. And I love her to bits, and I'm so gutted that she's not here today with us, but she's been your rock through this, and I knew she stood really strong next to you as well. We love and appreciate everything that she does for you down there too. And keeping an eye on you and make sure you get into work on time and
what's that belt, girl?
T-Dog.
Come on, TT. Come on, TT.
I echo it all.
A little private assassin.
You just
come on,
took
Queen.
words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Been a journey. But I think it's made us a lot closer, We were already pretty close, but I didn't think you could get any closer. But I've definitely built a really strong relationship, and I think that having that support around you has definitely helped, and it will help people, and I'm just grateful for our whole family being able to support each other through this, and let's just see where the future takes us. Who knows?
That's it, team.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's endless. So
Yeah.
watch the space.
Yes. Love it. Thank you, Tay. All of you guys and mum and dad, love them to bits. Really appreciate. And Sean's beautiful whānau, you know, Arahia's whānau. Yeah, I think we'll now move forward with a lot more light and happiness. But yeah, that's the end of our episode 4 of Grief to Growth. I genuinely hope that you guys have enjoyed this kōrero and it's given a bit more insight into my journey and my grief. Yeah, thank you guys for being here along on this journey. And if I say that one more time, I was like, there it is.
Come on, it's nearly there. Come on.
Wrap it up.
Look at Nico. He's like, come on, it's nearly there.
So close.
Yeah.
I know. Fucking hell.
So it's like,
It's nearly there.
okay, our Ari's like,
Girl's done.
Auntie,
Hurry up.
you done. That's us, team.
Yeah.
Yay,
Hey.
fingers. Well done, team.
Love. There it is.
Jaja.
Oh, there's a Jarastafari.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you,
Love
team.
you guys.
Mic drop.
Oh.